Hey guys, or should I say, hey every pony? Probably not, but welcome to part 2 of my My Little Pony redesigns, where I trash over the original ending in the show. But no hate on you, Hasbro. Thanks for making my childhood special with this show. However, I do think I have some fair criticisms to base this on, because this whole show is about friendship being magic and the power of teamwork when, pursuing the greater good, defeating evil, and so and so. All for Twilight Sparkle to be the only one who becomes an alicorn princess, later on the ruler of Equestria, making her immortal and, kind of needing to watch her friends slowly die. I hate that, so I took the liberty of redesigning not just the ponies themselves, but their alternate ending selves, where they are all alicorns with immortality. But before we start with the second part of redesigning, make sure to check out my first video where I redesigned Twilight, Rainbow Dash, and Pinkie Pie. And I told you guys I would do this part 2 if it got 100 likes, which, well, it got double more than that, so thank you so much. And yeah, I'll try not to cry. Let us begin with Rarity, our fashionista. She is the element of generosity. And as you can see, I had to take inspiration from this one amazing outfit she wore. And I just gotta remind you guys from my last video that in the alicorn versions that all of them are gonna have, they're kind of gonna be representative of the element of harmony, and I imagine them as some ethereal, immortal ponies that mortals can seek out when in need of help. I wanted to make her locks a bit looser, since I am gonna do a human version of all of them pretty soon, I think, and this is just how I imagine her. I gave her a little more clothes than the other ponies got from me because, she's a fashion designer. And let me tell you, this diva was underappreciated when I was a kid. I think there was a stigma being pushed around by mainstream media that the girly characters were always kind of obnoxious and annoying, and I fell for that as a kid. But now as an adult, I see just how cool Rarity is and how much we actually have in common. Sure, she's a little melodramatic, so am I, but her creativity definitely makes her more of an artist than we were ever able to perceive her as. She is also an excellent businesswoman, and I do think she even modeled at some points. Nevertheless, she is a girl boss now, and I think that little girls and boys who like this show today would be more inclined to like her than we did when we were kids. Here you can see that I struggled a little bit with the color palette. I didn't crop out the ear very well, so it got stuck with the hair, and I had no idea what I was going for. At some point, she kind of looked like Sweetie Belle, which makes sense since they're sisters, but I did want to distinguish them. Originally, I did think that I was gonna go for some color, and not white, but she ended up looking quite similar. And there she is. What do you guys think? Next up is Fluttershy, the fan favorite, actually. I mean, back when the show started, she was adored by everybody. But lately, I've seen an influx of Fluttershy kinnies. Not that she doesn't deserve it at all, but I'm really, really surprised that she became the fan favorite, and I'm really happy for her. She was my childhood best friend's favorite too. For her, I wanted to keep the soft look, soft colors, but I did want to add a little bag of first aid kit stuff for her animals. She is called Fluttershy, I understand that, and I understand that her cutie mark is a bunch of little butterflies to also kind of hint to her name and not just the love she has for animals. But if you've been paying attention, in each one of these videos, the alicorn form has a slightly different pupil than the original one. And for her, you'll see later on, I actually put a little paw instead of a butterfly because I think the insects can be a little bit misleading since she loves animals of all kinds, not just bugs. Instead of her turquoise eyes, I made them green, which I'm not sure if that was the best decision since they're kind of similar to Applejack's now. But I don't know, green just suits her better. And then for the alicorn form, I gave her these wines around her horn, around her front legs, hooves, I don't really know. And yes, her hair is shorter when she's an alicorn, and both of her eyes are visible as kind of a symbolism of her not being as shy as before. There you go, the element of kindness is done. Do you like her? And last but definitely not least, we have Applejack, the element of honesty. Guys, I was actually extremely worried about how I'm gonna redesign AJ. I genuinely thought that I was gonna have the most trouble with her, but I think she kind of ended up being my favorite redesign out of all of them. And I do gotta say, I'm still new to drawing ponies. I know that they have a cartoonish anatomy, but my style, around them is still being developed. So if I make any future videos redesigning the redesigns, don't be surprised. But for AJ, I wanted her to be more of a nod to her mother, as none of the kids really look like their mom. And I know that we only find out about her later on in the series, but Pear Butter was just so beautiful that I had to keep her kind of curly, messy hair in Applejack. As you can see, I drew her pretty quickly, and she's like brownish and very warm toned. So no wonder I really like her. I've been enjoying the cozy color palettes more lately, even though I'm a big purple periwinkle blue enthusiast. So she was done pretty quickly. Our little farmer girl, saying that like she wouldn't beat my ass. Well, anyway, she is done. Do you like her? Here they are, the second half of the main 6 before and after they got turned into alicorns. And like I said, I think this would happen through some personal trial, just like what happened to Twilight in the original story. Guys, don't forget to subscribe if you like my redesigns, and I'll give you more. For a final comparison, here are all the finished designs. I really tried to put as much effort into it as I could, and be on the lookout for future videos of other ponies. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and like I said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as give me a few likes. Check out my other videos, even though I don't have too many as I've only just started. But I'm actually making a Discord server for artists, and I am gonna let all of you know once it's ready so that you can join. I will try to post every Wednesday because you need a little bit of fun content in your life in the middle of a boring work week. Also, I was born on a Wednesday, but who cares about that? And the next video will probably be from some other fandom, so make sure to stick around. Thank you and bye, see you!